What's up, YouTube? Armageddon TCG here, and we are just finished with the Waffles and Enthusiasm 3v3 case tournament, and we're here with
Chance Mazaroba,
Aaron Graham.
And they have won today, and they're going to show us their tier deck profile. Do you guys have any shout-outs you want to do?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out to our sponsor, Black Star Gaming on TCG Player, and Armageddon TCG.
and Jared for being our third.
And Jared for being our third.
Is that D. Jared Randolph? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I heard he tossed some ARGs. All right, let's get into the deck profile.
So standard lineup of tiers: 2 Rhino, 3 Sharon, 3 Halvinus, 3 Merly. Really nothing to say.
Yep.
It's like simple lineup. Ishizu's, we kind of took like a weird ratio.
We just wanted to play other cards, so we had to like cut down, and Mudora to 2 was like one of the only cuts we were comfortable with making. And honestly, for me, it played out fine all day. Like,
You never saw yourself missing the other shuffler?
not really.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't really come up. I know we played 3 Quebec and then 1 Nagito, 1 Herald.
You still like the orange light? I've seen some lists are cutting this.
I like the orange light because I know that around here, and also in general, like the hardest counter is just decks that play shifter, and we want just some way to fight back against shifter. If we draw it, it's lit. Going second, going first, it's always really nice. It's a little tougher with like a little bit less Ishizus, a little bit less fairy targets, but honestly, I was always drawing it live. And yeah, the 2 Medora didn't really affect me at all.
This was a space we were considering cutting, but the thought process was if we're siding, like when we get into the side, we're siding Call by the Grave for shifter. So if we're siding a card specifically for shifter, why wouldn't we just play 2 cards that stop shifter? It's basically a Call by the Grave. But
That makes sense to me, but it can be better.
I don't like drawing Medora either. I think that's another reason.
You can just search it when you need it.
For Bestials, we just played 6, 3, 2, and 1. I didn't play any. I played I guess like the tier branded match today where I kept these in.
Yeah, I played 3 mirrors today. They definitely really came up. I wouldn't play more than this. I think this ratio is perfect.
I've seen some people are cutting down on the Magnamut, swapping that with a Druis Worm, just so the odds are less of it being milled and darked. How do you guys feel about that?
We thought about it, to be honest with you.
I like this card. I just like plusing too much.
I would just, they're basically the same card, right? Like whether you play a Druis Worm or you add a Druis Worm, it's still what it is. But at least like Magnamut is a 1-card Beatrice or a 1-card Wallow. So I think I valued that a little more, like the search more than the send.
Yeah. And
Makes sense to me.
Druis Worm was actually coming up all day. I don't think I ever drew this, but I drew this a lot. And I drew this even against Exo Sister in the finals. And that's what kind of won me the match because I banished his shifter. And we got to a game state where shifter was over with and I still had this and he couldn't get over it without the Xyz monster that he hadn't like searched with yet, I guess, being sent. So this card was so good. I guess I get it, like 3 Druis Worm, but we want to keep it a little bit more consistent, be able to plus more.
That makes sense to me.
That's it for the monsters, spells, 3 planet, and 1 terraforming. You just have to see this card. It's
crazy.
It's the best card. 1 Scream, only tier spell in the main, other than planet.
Gotcha.
And then we chose the main 2 tactics. I thought this was risky at first because I didn't know how many mirror matches and like BCL decks we would be playing and how many people would wallow it. Because I know as soon as I see this card, I like target that immediately, and I know a lot of people do too. But we just wanted cards to be able to just seal the games. Going first, it was broken all day. Going second, it was insane. I only drew this a handful of times, but if I didn't have exactly this card, I probably would have lost.
Yeah, we were considering playing Super Poly in this spot, but the reason we didn't go with it was because we wanted to have a little bit of a safer Flunder matchup, because we have a lot of Flunder in our area, so we're sacrificing a little bit stronger of a card versus the Sprite board. For something a little more consistent versus like every opponent. So that's why we chose tactics in the end. I think it was actually a pretty good choice.
Yeah, I like that. I'll definitely continue that.
Sounds good. And 3
then,
just so you don't brick on it?
We're just playing a 2.
Oh, just the 2.
Oh, I'm just
2 because
wondering.
we don't want to brick on it. Exactly.
Understand.
I don't want to
We just didn't have space. That's the thing.
This space is so tight.
Sure. And it's a 40-card deck, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 Instant Fusion.
The card's crazy.
It's crazy. It was glued to my hand all day. I drew it almost
You
every
love to
single
see it.
match. And honestly, like there were matches where I drew it game 1 and game 2, and it didn't go to game 3 because I had this card. It's unfair.
Free Kikalis is pretty nice.
It's so unfair. Trap lineup, triple Imperm. This is pretty much like our only other hand trap in like the BCLs and Hamas and the Cowbacks, right?
It's just
but we
the
wanted
best.
something.
Like it hits everything. It hits every matchup. It
like
like on Kikalos, I could just end the turn. So.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't playing this card a little while ago. And then my kit kept getting imperm by other people, and I'm like, this sucks. Like, this hurts a lot. So it's good against kit. It's good against, Sprite, Flunder, literally everything. Going first, you can just set it. So even if they crack your board, you just can negate their follow-up.
And you don't play into talents.
And you don't play into talents.
Yep.
That's true. Then one Celiac, one Crime. I didn't want to cut the Crime. It was too good going first. And
Yeah, so I just like having the option, honestly. Like, Celiac feels like the better card, but Crime just came up so much today.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's good Omni.
Except for the main deck.
Yeah.
All right, sounds
40
good.
cards. Extra deck. One kit, one Rokulos, one Kaleido Heart, and then the other 3 is standard stuff. There's really nothing
Things to make.
much to talk about. Yeah, things to make when you hit names. Exceed monsters, one Dweller, one Redoer, one Baguska for our rank 4s.
MVP of the day.
Yeah, this is like the best card.
100%.
And this is the best card in the entire deck. If you're not playing it, cut something. We were playing Baron before, and honestly, we just didn't want to play a card that you kind of had to.
We didn't want to play Diviner. We wanted
Yeah,
something
Diviner.
like could consistently make. So like as strong as Baron is, we felt like this was better. It's also kind of a good blind option. Because if your opponent doesn't really do anything, you kind of risk like if I summon Dweller and I'm playing Flunder, that kind of sucks, or vice versa. Like if I'm playing Baguska and I'm playing against something like the Sprite deck where they play the Virus Codebreaker or something, like it's not really consistent either. So this was just kind of like, we're also making Beatrice a little bit less just because we're not playing Diviner, and it's pretty easy to like Diviner make her 6 and then use one Bestial to make a Beatrice. That doesn't happen as much without her. Unless you have a specific hand. So like, yeah, this really came up, and it played around Bestials like crazy.
Yeah, and I actually standby faced a lot of trap cards today because I just played a whole bunch of shifter decks today. So I took like the Exo Sister one, like the Flu one, and just being able to Phoenix when any card is.
I believe it.
absurd.
Hey, he's a real sticky card. He's hard to get rid of.
Other Seas monsters: Beatrice, Wallow, Zeus. I never made this guy today.
I never made it either.
I think I was still. I like the card against the mirror. We just didn't really verse any matchups where like it really came up.
It's the type of card you would miss when you need it.
Yeah,
Like we didn't want to run that risk of being like, oh, I have game here, but
yeah. We both never
we're
needed
not
it
playing
today,
well.
but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Absolutely, but
it's
you're,
a flex spot.
you're
Yeah,
glad to
it's
have it
definitely
for
the
sure.
first thing to go if we decide to like do something different.
Yeah.
So that's the
Beatrice-
flex spot.
Yeah, Beatrice and Zeus, like you have to play those guys though.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. And then the rest of the monsters, Link monsters, Elf, Sprint, Dark. It's very, very basic.
Yeah.
Tier support. Side
Very
deck,
generic stuff. All right, love to see it.
never came up. I never went in a time. Did you?
Yeah, we just play for consistency pretty much.
Probably shouldn't have played this card at all. Being the 3v3, we actually had 10 extra
Yeah,
minutes.
we had 10 extra minutes.
That's something not a lot of people know. Like,
It never really came up. But you know,
I mean, I'd rather
you want to have it,
You
though.
wanna have
You
it,
absolutely
like,
want to have it just in case.
Flunder and Spider out there like doing this stuff to us, so like we gotta have something else.
Right.
You know.
Time rules, gotta love them, right?
And then 3 Bell. This card is
Crazy.
like one of my favorite cards.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like, because they'll have BCO or something, shufflers,
Yeah.
anything that really contests our strategy,
It's
like
just
going
so-
first, going second. It's good.
It just does so much against the mirror. Like it stops like just about anything you could want it to
Yeah,
at any time.
It's basically like it stops their names and it lets us resolve ours, and that's
it's-
all that we
it's
want.
Pretty crazy.
Then triple gamma, 1 driver. This card's also amazing. Every time I drew this card, I won.
It's just a good hand trap, but it's also like 3 copies of basically Called by the Grave for shifter decks. So we would keep it in going first or second versus shifter decks because we're just not trying to play the Baguska pass game.
Yeah.
We just want to
Makes sense.
We just want to do our combo.
And we know when we activate like Sheer and Effect, they're gonna pitch the shifter then.
Yeah.
So we don't have any monsters. We can just
Nobody,
leave.
personally, for me, nobody tried to play around Gamma today. Like they played right
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just don't expect it.
I mean, it's a great option. I mean, you can, hit the Flu normal summon, you can hit the Sprite normal summon, and then they're having a bad day.
And then to finish up the side deck, the spells. So we had 3 ruler. We just want to be fine against like Sprite because Sprite board is crazy.
It's just the best card to stop Sprite. Like it really is. But it also like can have function against like rogue decks. Sometimes tier. They don't always search the trap. I personally didn't side in versus tier.
I did it.
And Flunder as well.
Siding is also kind of rough. Like the side patterns
It's
are
really tight.
weird. Yeah. And then we just didn't want to lose to like backrow decks, like stupid stuff that said a lot.
Yeah,
I never drew these cards.
This was originally the Zombie World package.
Yeah.
But you decided to cut it.
We decided to go with this instead because we didn't want to play Zombie World and then not see any Flunder all day.
Yeah, because it's so all in on that one matchup. We kind of want to cover the
And
basics.
the reason we did Heartbeat instead of Feather Duster is because we wanted to be able to hit the Flu trap card in the draw or standby phase. We didn't want them to resolve it at all.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Same
It's
thing
searchable too.
Yeah, same thing as the Twins. It just makes our confidence even better. Like, if we were to kit them on their turn, just search Heartbeat for the follow-up and then have the ability to not have to deal with that trap card. I literally didn't even draw these backrow cards. The one time I drew it, it was against Anti-Spell and he flipped another one.
Yeah, no, I didn't play against back row at all. I didn't side them in once.
And then last card is just one call by. Just I only started going first. I think we both only started going first against Shifter.
Yeah.
But it's just, if you have it, you don't have to worry about it. So
Absolutely.
It's basically a second copy of Orange Light. That's kind of why I like to play both.
Well, if need be, you could even set it if your opponent doesn't activate it and use it to hit a tier name or something like that.
Very true.
So that's it.
All right, that's awesome, guys. So we're a new team. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and our YouTube. It's all Armageddon_TCG. We're going to be making a lot more content for you guys. We're going to be uploading our duels. We go to events. Check us out. We're excited. Just comment in the section down below what you guys think, what your thoughts on the format are, upcoming ban lists. Any thoughts? We'd love to hear from you guys. And thank you.